Adding music to PowerPoint is relatively straightforward. It's pretty simple nowadays. However, I have found it easier on me to have to have the music running outboard via Windows Media Player, an MP3 player, iTunes, your cell phone, YouTube, or something outside of PowerPoint. But I digress. So now we're going to get to PowerPoint and see how to add music. Okay, it's real easy. Menu bar, and go to Insert, Audio, and then Audio on my PC. Now this is in Office 365. In 2019 it may be a little bit different, but you'll be able to find it. And you'll note that the audio icon will appear, similar to what I have shown here. Next and in edit mode, this is an edit view. And you can note the elapsed time once you click play. You can also pause, advance, or reverse the audio track. And there's also a volume control. And while you're in slideshow view, the icon is still viewable. So you can actually play it in your slideshow. And then by right-clicking, you'll see some other commands that come up. And you can find some even more commands. And we'll go over these in just a moment. And we've already talked about the playback command. These are the audio formats that are supported in PowerPoint 365. It's essentially the same in 2019. If you get older, like when I was using 2010, there's only a couple that it would support. That's when I started going to outboard players. And there's another feature where you can actually record onto your presentation with an audio microphone. You can do it for one slide or all the slides or a short selection of slides. Depends on you. All right, so let's drop out of this. Before I start, when I was using this in 2010, there was a limit on the file size that you could embed into your PowerPoint presentation. I could not find it. It used to be 30 megabytes, which is essentially one song, but apparently they've taken that restriction away. Music, insert audio, audio on my PC. Then you want to browse to wherever it is your music is. And I'm going to go to my copyright-free music so I don't have an issue with YouTube later on. And you click your insert button. And you can't see it. There is the audio icon with the review button, the reverse forward buttons, the timer, and also an audio slider. So now to play that, you simply just press play. Hopefully you can hear that over my microphone. And you got a counter, and I mentioned the volume control. And you can pause or stop. And that's all well and good, but the real power in this is being able to have it trigger automatically depending on the slide that you want it to play behind. And we're going to get and show you the commands. You can have it play on one slide or across all slides. But let me follow my notes here before I get too far off beat. And what you would see in slideshow mode, try to get there, is just this grayed out icon, and you see the other commands once you hover over it. And you can see the little pointer showing the spot in the track. Let's go back to edit mode. All right, since we're in this now, let's just right click, and you'll see you have commands. You can trim it, you can set a style, which I didn't really quite follow. You can save the media something different. So trim is just what it says. You can trim off the beginning of a song or the ending of the song, or both, depending on what you want to capture for your actual audience for your presentation. Click on audio format, and then go to, I believe it was playback. Yeah, we get a whole bunch of options here. Play is very understandable. Add a bookmark. That brings you to a certain point in the audio file, as it states here in the little note, pop-up balloon. Trim, we've already talked about. Fade in and fade out. Sometimes you want your music to ease in and then ease out to just give it a more professional sound versus just starting and stopping. And you can do those based on the timeline. Volume is pretty simple. You get 3 different audio levels plus a mute. Okay, here's where you would trigger the actual file. You want to start it when clicked or automatically or in some sequence. And here, as you can see, you can play across all slides or loop until stopped. And typically you want to hide the player while you are playing it, just one less thing to distract, especially if you're doing it across multiple slides. And rewind after playing. If you're going to play it a second time, this would be a good option. Play in background. What I did find out on this audio styles, if you notice here with no style, nothing is checked. But as soon as I click on play in background, now it starts automatically and it's hidden during the show. Basically, this would be like background music that you want over multiple slides. One other thing you can do, if we can get to it, you can record a soundtrack by going to the record button and looking at those commands. Okay, right here. Looking at those commands, cameo appearance inserts your camera. Just like in slideshow view, you can start from the beginning or from the current slide. You can do audio only. Edit is grayed out. You can show as a slideshow, or you can export the video to MP4 or some other format depending on what you're going to be showing it on. And then learn more and help. I found the help to be very helpful. It had a lot of detail, had some short video clips on training. It actually had a training module. So if you have 365 and maybe even 2019, go check out the help feature in PowerPoint on this particular feature, music in PowerPoint. So that's the high points and mid points and even some low points on adding music to PowerPoint. You basically just go to insert audio and insert audio from my PC, which is going to be typically the case. Your icon will show up and you just play it. If you want to record, you go to the record button and record either on top of the one slide or multiple slides. and you can edit those audio tracks accordingly. I did read where if you hit the clear button, make sure you look at what you're doing, because you can either clear a single slide, the audio from a single slide, or the audio from multiple slides, which would be all the audio tracks. But it's pretty straightforward. Just have fun with it, and let me know if you have any questions or comments in the comments section. And be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Have fun adding music to your PowerPoint presentation.